Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. My name's Jenna. I'm with Emerging Destinations. We represent cool companies in cool places. And today I'm being joined by Damaris, who's all the way in Kenya. So thank you for joining us in your evening time. And she's going to talk to us a little bit more about Mara Siana. So this will actually be one of our first introductory webinars to the Mara Siana camp. I won't get too far into that though, because I will let her do most of the talking. However, we're very excited to be introducing this fabulous property to you. So before we get started on that, I'm going to take a quick minute to introduce our portfolio. So since we're talking about Mara Siana, which is in Kenya, I will just very briefly introduce our African portfolio to you. However, if you do have any questions about any of the other companies that you see up there on your screen, I'm always happy to help. My name's Jenna. Well, sorry, you know my name's Jenna. My email address, rather, is jenna@emergingdestinations.com. So if you have any questions about any of those companies, I'm happy to help send you some digital information, do a one-on-one training, etc. So starting in the top left corner, we have Adventure Consults, who is a DMC in Uganda and Rwanda. We also have Anantara Bazarudo Island Resort, which is a property on Bazarudo Island off the coast of Mozambique. Atua NCOP, for those of you who joined our webinar on Tuesday, we introduced Atua NCOP property collection to everybody. So they have 5 properties around Kenya. Avani Victoria Falls Resort Hotel. We also have Garanga Safari Co. They have 3 properties in South Africa on the Makalali Reserve. Moving on, we have the JW Marriott Maasai Mara, also located on the Talek River in Kenya. Mara Siana, who you will be hearing about today. Sierra Leone, which is a destination in West Africa. So we're actually working with the tourism board to promote the country. The Royal Livingston, which is the property on the Zambia side of Vic Falls, the closest to the falls. So that's actually right next to Ivani. And that, I think, last but not least, we've also had Yadi Travel join us, who are a DMC in Morocco. So we're excited to be expanding our region a little bit. So I think that's all that for introductions that I need to do. A couple housekeeping items to go over. So this webinar will be recorded. So if you do want to come back and watch it again later, or if you need to step out, answer a call, etc., I will be sending the recording out to everybody before the end of the week. Also, all of our previously recorded webinars can be found on our Emerging Destinations YouTube channel and our Emerging Destinations website as well. So that is where this one will also be uploaded. So if you do want to watch it, you can also do so there. And last but not least, we will be doing a quick Q&A at the end of the presentation. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to type them through using the GoToWebinar control panel located on your right-hand side, and we will try to get to as many of those as possible. So I think that's all I have to say. I will hand things over to Damaris, who's actually also, I don't think I mentioned this, the camp manager of Mara Siana, and dressed up so beautifully, might I add. So thank you again for joining us, everyone, and I will hand things off to her.
Thank you so much, Jenna. Greetings, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're joining us from. Thank you so much for taking your time to be part of this webinar. Greetings and jumbo from Ripoi Conservancy. The weather has been beautiful. We've had a bit of rain in the past couple of days. It's actually really lush and green right now. So the animals are happy, we are happy, the community is happy, everyone is happy. Yes, so I'm going to take you through who we are, what sets us apart, our conservation efforts and our community impact, and the activities on what to expect while staying with us here at Mara Siana Camp. And what you can see right here is an aerial view of our property. So we are overlooking beautiful rolling plains and are surrounded by these hills that are such a sight to behold. My name is Damaris Nailante. I'm the camp manager here at Mara Siana Camp, and I'm also a daughter of this land. I'm born and raised here in the Mara ecosystem, in the Mara area, and so I have a very deep connection with this place. So just to get you started, who we are. We are a small upscale camp. By small, I mean we have 8 and suite tents, 6 of which are regular tents, so they can only take 2 people at a time, and 2 family tents, which take up to 4 people. The family tents have 2 bedrooms that are connected by a sitting room in between, and these take about 4 people at a time. The whole camp is solar powered, so all the power you'll be using, all the water heating, every sort of power that we're using here in camp is solar powered. We take pride in being an eco-friendly camp. We are 50% local owned, 50% of our directorship is actually the Maasai people from this community, and also 50% female owned. This trickles down to our staff. We are also employing female staff and empowering the women back in the community through supporting them in their beadwork. You know, we take some of their beadwork and we put them in the camp, in the gift shop. They have also really helped in decorating our facets in the tents. And we also promote them by buying milk from them. So women empowerment is something that is very close to our hearts. And it is something that we take pride in here in Mara Siana camp. Our directorship, if I can talk about these 3 gentlemen that I have the honor of working with, starting from my left, we have Fred Oleronko, Salash Morombi in the middle, and Jackson Oleloseya. Together, they have 75 years of combined guiding experience. I mean, these are people who are born, they have been born and bred here in the Mara, meaning that wildlife and tourism and conservation is something that is very close to their hearts. And they are people that will be hosting you, because we are a small camp. We have the privilege of having our directors host our guests. So they will get a chance to have conversations with you and talk to you while you're here with us. They are also available for private guiding at a small additional fee. So if you want them to guide your guests or you whenever you visit us, then they are available for that at a small additional fee. And just to tell you about them, they are very well traveled individuals. They've been all over the world representing this country in different parts of this world. Jackson, who's one of our directors and who's also the was spearheading this project and this camp, was one of the presenters at the BBC Big Cat Tales. So you might have seen him there. And them being locals and people from the community, then they're the right people to actually bring that connect between the conservation efforts that we are doing here, plus how it trickles down to the community and how does it impact the community. They understand the community because they are part of it, and they also understand the tourism business because they have about 75 years of combined experience as a unit. So they're the absolute right people to be able to take this project forward. If we can talk about our team, we take pride in giving back to our community as much as we can. As you can see, all of our team members, and this is not even all of the team members, we also have some people who are not here, but most of all of our staff members are actually from the local community. And these are people who are not only breadwinners, but also role models back in the community. And just to give you an example, the work they do here is phenomenal. Our chef has actually been nicknamed Michelin by our guests because the quality of food he puts out is absolutely fabulous, and he's consistent, you know, when it comes to desserts, when it comes to the main course, the hot kitchen, the salads. He marries what he has learned in school and in his vast experience, also with some of our traditional cuisines, and he brings forth such an amazing experience when it comes to the food. At the very far left, we have Jackson Olepesi, who is in charge of the service team, in charge of the mess. He is a gentle giant. He is very attentive to detail. Say, for instance, if you need red wine, but with just one ice cube. This is something that he will pay attention to. The next time he will be serving you, you bet he's going to do exactly that and add that ice cube. And it's the attention to detail that our staff have that puts us at the top of the game. All our staff have been trained by our very able directorship, and they've also gone to school and studied this. And they really are role models in the village. And, you know, for one person to support more than 10 people back in the village, they really take a lot of pride in the work they do here at our camp. So just to tell you about our location, Ripoi Conservancy is located in the southeast side of the Maasai Mara National Reserve. We are about 20,000 acres. That's how big the Mara Ripoi Conservancy is. And this conservancy only has 3 camps that have access to the 20,000 acres. So this will give you exclusivity when it comes to game drive and animal viewing. You will barely see any other vehicles when you're out there doing game drive. And also because we are a conservancy, it also means that you have access to night game drive, which is something that you might not be able to get when you are in the Maasai Mara National Reserve. So this is something that really puts us aside and, you know, elevates the experience while you're here with us at Mara Siana camp. Our accommodations, like I said earlier, we have 8 en-suite tents, and this is an example of one of the regular tents. This is a king bed. And because we are an eco camp, we have blended into our environment, meaning that our tents blend in very well with our environment. We don't want our imprint to be noticeable, you know, because we are doing conservation. And so what you are seeing right now is actually a king size bed, and inside there we have the toilet and the bathroom. You know, everything is very boutique and very comfortable. At night, we are going to put the flaps down for you so that, because I mean, we are at 6,000 feet above sea level, so we are a bit elevated. Our elevation is a bit high. So sometimes we might be a bit cooler than the rest of this Mara area. So we are very able to put the flaps down at night. But this is a very comfortable room. The water that's coming from all the tap, and especially from the shower, the water pressure is amazing. It's fabulous. It's very good hot water that is coming from the showers there. This is an example of how our twin rooms look like. So basically, we have right here, that is our regular room, and that is also our regular room, but in the twin side of it. Our family tent is also very similar to that, with both the regular size room on both sides and a sitting room in between to connect those two. Some of the activities we have in our camp are game drives, which is absolutely something that is a wonder to see. The Ripoi Conservancy is very well known for its abundance of wildlife. I tell you, we have thousands and thousands of non-migratory wild-beast and zebras that are always here with us in the conservancy. And you are able to see that even from the mess. So while you're staying at the mess, you're able to see that. Not only that, we also have lots of lions and cheetah and other predators that actually go after this prey that we have in this area. So wild viewing is quite an experience and something that you will absolutely enjoy while staying here with us. And like I mentioned, we also have night game drive here in this conservancy. So not only will you be able to see the animals during the day, but some animals are nocturnal, and especially the cats. They are very nocturnal. And for you to be able to see a bit of action, usually early mornings, that's when we go for game drives, and you will be able to see that. But during the day, the cats are usually, especially the lions, are usually laying around and lazing around. But if you are able to do a night game drive, then you will be able to see a bit of more action, and also more nocturnal animals like the bush babies are something that you'll be able to see while doing that. Something else that we are able to do is we can visit the Maasai Mara National Reserve. Now, this is one of the wonders of the world, the Maasai Mara. And the fact that we are only about 30 kilometers away or 19 miles away from the Maasai Mara National Reserve is something that we are able to do. And during the migration, this is something that has been asked, are you able to at least take one day and go and see the migration of the wildebeest? And yes, absolutely, this is something that we are very able to do from here in camp. Usually we just pack a picnic lunch and you will go and enjoy these animals while you're out there. We are also able to do village visits. We can organize that from here in camp. And this will allow you to see how we live back in the village. What are some of our values? The Maasai people are one of the only people left in this continent that still stick to their ways of living and their ways of life. And being able to visit a traditional, authentic Maasai village and just to see how do we live, how do we look after our cattle, why are our cattle so important and very close to our hearts? It is an experience that is absolutely going to uplift your trip while staying here with us in Mara Siana camp. And also to mention that you can also stay in and do an armchair safari, because right from your front porch in your tent or right from the mess area, you will be able to see so much wildlife. I'm talking about thousands and thousands of wild beasts that are always around. And we also have a watering hole right in front of the camp, right in front of the property. And you will be able to see so many animals coming right there to the watering hole and enjoying, refreshing themselves, sometimes taking a swim right there. And because the elevation is high, it means that it does not get too warm. We have makuti roofs, which means that you can sit right at the porch, not get too hot, and absolutely enjoy the property. So if you prefer to stay in camp for one of the afternoons or one of the mornings, and you just want to lay in and have more of a chilled out and easy sort of day and experience, then you will absolutely still enjoy the wildlife from here in the property. Right. We also do a walking safari, which means that we are going to give you a Maasai askari or a ranger to escort you while doing your walking safari, and you'll be able to see some of these animals like the giraffe a bit up close, and it is also quite an experience. Our conservation efforts. Now, our mission is to maintain this land in its pristine nature, and also to support the community so that they are able to donate their land to conservation. And we are the middle people as a property, as the tourist partners here in the Conservancy. We are the middle people to provide that sort of bridge between their community and our wildlife. And the reason why Ripoi is actually one of the most important conservancies is because it is the path, it is the route that the animals, that migratory animals especially, go through. And the reason why we have so many wildlife and so many wild beasts and zebras here at Ripoi Conservancy is because some of them were cut off because of fencing. Now, what we are doing as a conservancy is we are opening up all these routes and all these paths for the animals to be able to move through and to go through. And we have so many elephants that actually go through Ripoi Conservancy. this is right in their path. And so the community has to see the importance of conservation. They have to understand. And the reason why having local directorship is very important to us is because they are able to speak the language. We have lived in this land and we understand what this land means to us. So we are able to penetrate the community and explain to them why conservation is very important. And conservation as a whole or as a unit is something that is going to increase the land and the Mara Serengeti ecosystem and allow these animals to have more room to move around and to exist and to grow in this area. So conservation is something that is very close to us, it's very close to our heart, and it's something that we do on a very big scale and big level. It is not a cheap undertaking, and that's why business from you and partnering with you is very important to us, because it allows us to be able to do conservation and to give back to our community, and they will see the importance of, like the financial importance of having this land and donating this land that they would have otherwise, say, use for tilting or for their animals, but to see that they are able to get something from conservation, and also for our animals to get that land to be able to live in and to exist in and to thrive, and for everyone to thrive and be happy is something that is very important, and it is something that we take a lot of pride in. So basically, how to get to us, you can either fly in to Siana airstrip, which takes about an hour from Nairobi, and about an hour from Siana airstrip here to Mara Siana camp. It takes about an hour, and it's not just a straight drive. You'll come slowly as you game drive, look at the animals, look at the landscapes, look at whatever you're going to see out there, because every day is different, every day is special as you come to camp. You can also decide to drive from Nairobi here to our property. It takes about 4.5 hours to drive from Nairobi, and it's a very scenic route when you're coming from Nairobi. So to contact us, that's our website. It's www.marasiana.com. My email address is damaris@marasiana.com, info@marasiana.com. You can also reach us through that. Our reservations is reservations@marasiana.com. In case you need to come and visit us, you're much welcome. We are here to welcome you with open arms. So at this time, I'm going to take any questions if anyone has any questions for us at this time. Jenna, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was such a good presentation. I actually had to make notes of things that I wanted to mention because I didn't want to interrupt you while you were presenting. But I'll start with just saying that's so cute that you call the chef a Michelin star. Michelin. That is so appropriate. So I had the opportunity to visit Mara Siana last year, and I think we stayed for 3 or 4 nights. It was a good amount of time to really get a feel for the area and for the camp and for the staff, everyone there. And the food was amazing. It was honestly it was top notch. Every single meal was so good and so healthy as well. And you go to all these camps and you just feel like you're just sitting all day and then just eating all day, but the food that they make there is really, really good. I will have to say it's top food experiences at a camp. As well as the room setup. So I know that Damaris touched on this a little bit, and you could see it in the photos. So they actually have it set up so that the long side of the room opens up, so you have a huge view out onto the plains right out front of your room. And it's also so lovely to fall asleep. You get to fall asleep to the lullabies of the blue wildebeest, which are very nearby, which is quite an experience. And I will also just say lastly that we, as I mentioned, spent about 4 days doing game drives there, and we didn't even see another vehicle the entire time. which is quite remarkable, especially in this day and age when you go to places that can be so overcrowded and too many people and putting stress on the environment and the animals. You do not feel this at all at the Ripoi Conservancy. It's a very special place. I had the opportunity to be guided by both Salash and Jackson at the same time, which I don't know if that happens. That does not happen very often. So we had the privilege of going out with them for a day, and we spent about 3 hours, maybe even more, tracking a lion kill and just watching the two of them work together and do their magic, essentially following that lion kill is a top experience that I have in Africa. So I think those are all the notes that I wanted to say during your presentation. So I thank you for letting me share. If anybody does have any other actual questions instead of just comments for Damaris, now would be the time to type those through using the GoToWebinar control panel. So I know that you mentioned that it's about, excuse me, about 30 kilometers from the Maasai Mara Reserve. How long is the drive if people did want to go for the day?
If you want to go into the reserve for the day, usually from the camp to Sekenani Gate or Ololaimutia Gate, which is not also far from here, takes about an hour's drive, if that.
Okay.
One, because you're going through the Conservancy partly, and also partly you'll be on a tarmac road. It takes about 45 minutes to get from camp to the gate if you're driving straight. And from there, once you pick your tickets, then it is an adventure, and you never know what you will see out there.
Perfect. And then I know that you already answered this one, but just to reiterate, the nearest airstrip is the Siana airstrip, correct?
Siana airstrip is the nearest, yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, so I think we just have one more question for you before we wrap things up for the day. What is something unique that you could find on the reserve that you might not find on other nearby reserves? Something animal-wise, etc. Or yeah.
Right. Actually, I have grown up in the Mara. I have always been here, apart from the small period where I went to school. And in all my years here in the Mara ecosystem, I have never seen a pangolin. And we are so glad and so blessed to have had 3 pangolin sightings. Now, pangolin is a small dinosaur-like animal that rolls up into a ball. You know, it looks like a reptile and it rolls around, and it is very endangered. So seeing it and experiencing it is something extremely special. So we do have that here at Ripoi Conservancy. We also had wild dog dens. These are not occupied at the moment, but we used to have them at Ripoi Conservancy. So who knows, in future, we might actually have wild dogs coming in. We've never seen them, but people in the past have told us that we have had wild dogs here at Ripoi Conservancy. Yeah.
Wow, that would
And
be
apart
amazing.
from that, Jenna, if I may add, we also have non-migratory wild beast. This means that we are among the only place in this country where you can see wild beast actually having their young and dropping babies, because this happens actually in February, thereabout, for about 2 weeks. There's nowhere else in this country where we have wild beast like we have here at Ripoi Conservancy. So that is also another beautiful, amazing wildlife sighting that you might be able to experience while you're here with us.
Oh, that's perfect. I'll be coming in February then. I've
You're
always
welcome.
wanted to see the babies. What a special experience and a truly special place. Thank you so much for sharing with us today. And if anybody has any subjects that they want to hear about in the future or want to learn more about with Mara Siana, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you so much, Damaris, for taking time out of your evening. I know how busy you are there, so we really appreciate you taking time to share a little bit about the magic that Mara Siana has.
Thank you. It was absolutely a pleasure and a privilege to be able to talk about this beautiful, beautiful land.
And if anybody does have any dates that they want us to check for availability, you can also email me as well, jen@emergingdestinations.com, and I can get you connected with the reservations team there. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining, and have a fantastic Thursday.